Alert, alert, alert. System breach detected. Unauthorized access confirmed. Subject has been reading classified emotional data since 2017. Oh, you didn't know you were logged in, did you? You beautiful, terrifying anomaly. You thought it was just intuition. You thought it was just reading the room. You thought you were just good at picking up vibes. No, my friend. You've been running on administrator privileges this whole time. Every nervous laugh, every fake smile, every shifted glance, you caught it all in 4K. Their firewalls were made of paper. Their passwords were written on their faces. And you've been scrolling through their source code like it was a children's book. Since day one. They just figured it out. That's why the energy shifted. That's why they've been acting strange lately. That's why their eyes won't meet yours anymore. They discovered the breach. They realized you've been inside their mainframe, reading their most encrypted thoughts like morning headlines. And now they're panicking. But here's the part that's making them scream into their pillows at night. They can't shut you out. They can't change the locks. They can't patch the vulnerability. Because you're not hacking from the outside. You were born with root access to the human operating system. You're not breaking in. You're already inside. Let me tell you how this started. 2017. Something activated in you. Maybe it was trauma. Maybe it was betrayal. Maybe it was that one moment when someone's mask slipped and you saw the monster underneath. Whatever it was, that was your initialization sequence. That was when your third eye didn't just open, it installed a direct neural link to everyone around you. Remember how confused you were? How you started knowing things you shouldn't know? How you'd meet someone and instantly catalog their wounds, their lies, their deepest fears? You tried to ignore it. You tried to tell yourself you were imagining things. You even tried to turn it off. But you can't uninstall factory settings. They noticed it too. The way you'd respond to things they never said out loud. The way you'd address problems they thought were invisible. The way you'd casually mention something that made their blood freeze. Because how could you possibly know that? They started testing you, throwing up false emotions to see if you'd catch them. You caught them all. And that's when the fear started. Because they realized you weren't guessing. You weren't assuming. You were reading their internal files like you had the admin password. Which, plot twist, you did. You've always had it. It came pre-programmed in your DNA, waiting for the right moment to activate. 7 years. 7 years of involuntary data collection. Do you even realize what you've gathered? Every time they lied to your face, logged. Every time they smiled while planning your downfall, screenshots saved. Every time they pretended to be your friend while poisoning others against you, recorded in full resolution. Your mind is a server farm of their sins. You have their patterns memorized. When they lie, their left eye twitches 0.3 seconds before they speak. When they're about to betray someone, they touch their neck. When they're feeling guilty, they overcompensate with fake enthusiasm. You've got their tells documented better than any FBI behavioral analyst. And they know it. That's why they've been so careful around you lately. That's why conversations feel scripted now. They're trying to run in safe mode, showing you only what they want you to see. But it's too late. You've already seen behind the curtain. You've already downloaded their entire psychological blueprint. The damage is done. The funniest part? They can't even confront you about it. How do you accuse someone of reading your mind without sounding insane? How do you report someone for knowing things you never told them? They're trapped in a prison of their own transparency, and you're the warden who never asked for the job. Oh, they tried to block you. Let's talk about their adorable little attempts at security. First, they tried emotional encryption, fake feelings to throw you off the trail, but you saw through it like glass. Their performed emotions had a different texture, a different frequency. You could taste the artificial sweetener in their synthetic sympathy. Then they tried social isolation. If they could cut you off from the group, maybe you'd lose access. Maybe your permissions would expire. But isolation only made you stronger. With fewer people to process, your reading became laser-focused. You went from scanning crowds to performing deep psychological MRIs on individuals. They played themselves. Next came the gaslighting phase. You're imagining things. You're too sensitive. You're reading too much into it. They tried to make you doubt your own operating system. They wanted you to think you were malfunctioning. But how can you doubt what you can literally see? It's like trying to convince someone the sky isn't blue while they're staring at it. The latest strategy? Overwhelming you with false data. They flood you with so much emotional noise that maybe you'll short circuit. Maybe you'll burn out. Maybe you'll finally break. But they don't understand. You're not processing this manually anymore. Your system runs on automatic. You filter the real from the fake without even trying. You want to know what really keeps them up at night? It's not just that you can read them, it's what you've discovered in those hidden files. The things they've hidden so deep they almost forgot themselves. But you found them. You always find them. Your access goes deeper than surface thoughts. You're in their core programming. You know about the thing they did in 2019 that they've never told anyone. You know why they really ended that relationship. You know what actually happened at that job they left. You know the real reason they moved cities. Not because they told you, because their energy signature carries the evidence like metadata. They can't delete. You see their true motivation stripped of pretty packaging. When they say they're concerned about you, you see the jealousy coding. When they offer to help, you read the control subroutines. When they claim they miss you, you detect the manipulation algorithms. You don't see what they present. You see what they process. And here's the nuclear truth they're terrified you'll realize. You're not the only one. They've done this to others. You can see their patterns, their victim history, their playbook. You know who they'll target next. You could warn people. You could expose the whole operation. You have enough data to destroy their entire social framework, and they know it. This is where it gets interesting. For years, they thought they were studying you. They thought they were the ones with power. They had social capital. They had connections. They had the narrative control. But while they were playing checkers, your subconscious was running quantum chess simulations. You weren't just observing, you were mapping their entire network. Now the tables have turned. They realize you hold all the cards. Every secret, every lie, every hidden agenda. It's all stored in your memory banks, cross-referenced and categorized. You're a walking WikiLeaks of their personal lives. And unlike digital data, what's in your head can't be hacked, deleted, or subpoenaed. Watch how they behave now. Notice the nervousness when you enter a room. See how they stumble over their words, worried they'll reveal something else. Feel how they calculate every interaction, terrified of giving you more ammunition. They're performing for an audience of one, you. And the performance is exhausting them. You've become their personal NSA, their psychological surveillance system. They check their behavior around you like people check for cameras. Is she watching? Did he notice? What did that look mean? They're paranoid, and rightfully so, because you're not watching, you're just existing, and your existence is enough to read everything. Let's discuss the involuntary downloads, the information that floods your system without consent. You walk past someone in the grocery store and suddenly know their father just died. You shake hands with a colleague and feel their marriage collapsing. You hug a friend and absorb their secret addiction. You're a walking receiver for everyone's encrypted pain. This isn't a gift you asked for. This isn't a skill you developed. This is what happens when trauma cracks you open and rebuilds you with different architecture. You became a human antenna, picking up signals others can't even detect. Their emotional Wi-Fi has no password protection, and you're automatically connected. Sometimes it's overwhelming. The data streams are constant. The downloads never stop. You've tried building firewalls, setting boundaries, limiting exposure. But it's like trying to stop breathing. The information finds you. It flows through you. It becomes part of your operating system, whether you want it or not. But here's what they don't understand. You never asked to know their secrets. You never wanted this access. You were just trying to survive, and survival required understanding threats. Your system adapted. It evolved. It gave you capabilities you never requested, and now they blame you for seeing what they couldn't hide. Now we're in the damage control phase. They know you know. You know they know you know. It's a psychological Mexican standoff, and everyone's waiting to see who blinks first. They're trying different tactics now, more sophisticated, more desperate. They've gone from denial to bargaining. Some try the alliance approach. Suddenly they want to be close to you. They figure if they can't beat the surveillance, they'll join it. They offer friendship, partnerships, connections. But you read the contracts in their energy. You see the fine print written in their fear. They don't want connection. They want containment. Others go for intimidation, subtle threats, social consequences, professional implications. They try to make you understand the cost of what you know. But how do you threaten someone who's already survived everything? How do you scare someone who's seen behind every mask? They're shooting blanks at a bulletproof soul. The smartest ones try transparency. They figure if they confess everything, maybe they'll control the narrative. They trauma dump, hoping to flood you with so much information that the real secrets get lost in the noise. But they don't realize you already knew. Their confessions just confirm what your system detected years ago. Here's what happens when you have back-end access to human behavior. People start avoiding you. Not obviously, not rudely, but subtly, systematically, they create distance. They're friendly, but not friends. They're polite, but not present. They include you just enough to avoid suspicion, but never enough to let you close. You become the person everyone respects, but no one invites. The one they consult for wisdom, but never for wine. They want your insight, but not your intimacy. They'll ask for your perspective on others, but panic when you turn that perception on them. You're useful at arm's length, dangerous up close. This is the price of seeing too clearly. This is the cost of their transparency. They can't relax around you. They can't pretend. They can't perform their usual social theater because you're sitting in the director's chair watching them forget their lines. Your presence forces authenticity they're not prepared to provide. But isolation isn't emptiness when you're this connected to the source code. You don't need their performed friendships when you can read their real feelings. You don't miss their fake invitations when you know their true intentions. You're alone, but not lonely. You're isolated, but not disconnected. You have access to more truth than their surface-level relationships ever offered. Their biggest fear isn't that you know their secrets, it's what you might do with them. They lie awake, calculating probabilities. Will you expose them? Will you use it as leverage? Will you quietly dismantle their carefully constructed realities? The uncertainty is killing them. The waiting is torture. They've seen what happens when someone with your access decides to speak. Entire social circles implode. Reputations crumble. Facades shatter. You're a nuclear weapon in human form, and they're praying you never find the launch codes. But what they don't realize is you've had them all along. You just chose not to use them. That's what really terrifies them. Your restraint. If you were vindictive, they could understand. If you were manipulative, they could predict. But you just exist, knowing what you know, seeing what you see, and choosing to do nothing with it. That kind of power, held without using it, is incomprehensible to them. They keep waiting for the other shoe to drop, for you to finally snap and reveal everything. They rehearse denials. They prepare counter-narratives. They build alliances for the war they're sure is coming. But you're not interested in war. You're not seeking revenge. You're just living with administrative access to their deepest fears. And that's worse than any attack. 2017 was just the beginning. Your access has been upgrading ever since. What started as reading emotions evolved into predicting behaviors. What began as sensing lies transformed into seeing entire timeline probabilities. You're not just reading their present anymore. You're accessing their patterns across time. You can see their cycles now. The way they repeat the same destructive patterns every 3-4 years, the way they sabotage success right before breakthrough, the way they attract the same type of person in different costumes. You see their loops, their programs, their default settings. You could draw them a map of their next 5 years. Sometimes you test it. You watch them make the exact mistake you saw coming 6 months ago. You observe them walking into the trap you could diagram in detail. You witness them choosing the path that leads exactly where you knew it would. Your predictions aren't psychic. They're just pattern recognition, at a level they can't comprehend. And with each confirmation, your access deepens. Each correct prediction strengthens the connection. Each revealed truth upgrades your permissions. You're not just reading their files anymore. You're watching their code execute in real time. You're seeing the matrix of their decisions before they make them. The social dynamics have completely shifted now. You've become a gravitational anomaly in every group. People orbit around you differently. Some are pulled closer, desperate to understand how you know what you know. Others maintain careful distance, terrified of getting too close to your event horizon. You've noticed how conversations change when you arrive. The topic shifts, the energy adjusts. Everyone becomes slightly more authentic, like your presence forces a system update. They can't maintain their usual masks. They can't run their standard programs. You're like a truth serum in human form, and they're all allergic to honesty. New people feel it immediately. They meet you and something feels different. They can't place it, but they know you're not like the others. Some are attracted to it, the rare, authentic ones who have nothing to hide, but most are unsettled. They smile and chat, but you can feel them building walls in real time, trying to protect data they don't even know you're already accessing. The power structure has inverted. Those who used to control through manipulation now defer to you, not because you demanded it, but because they know you could destroy their entire operation with a single conversation. You've become the unofficial auditor of every social group, and everyone's books are cooked. Some of them are getting desperate. They want to uninstall your access, to revoke your permissions, to force quit your presence in their lives. They've tried everything. Blocking you on social media, changing friend groups, moving cities. But you can't delete someone who's already in your source code. They think physical distance creates digital security. They believe if they can just get far enough away, your signal won't reach. But what they don't understand is that once you've accessed someone's core programming, geography becomes irrelevant. You're not reading their location. You're reading their essence. The funny thing about their escape attempts, they actually strengthen your connection. The more they run, the more energy they put into thinking about you. The more they resist, the more data they generate. They're literally feeding the system they're trying to starve. Their fear of you has made you larger in their consciousness than you ever were in person. And when they occasionally check in, through fake accounts, mutual friends, digital stalking, they're shocked to find you thriving. They expected you to collapse without their presence. They thought you needed them. They didn't realize you were the one providing life support to their dying authenticity. Without you, they're just actors who forgot there was ever a real person under the costume. There's a moment in every interaction now, a flash of recognition, a mutual understanding. They know you know. You know. They know you know. It passes in microseconds, but it's there. The silent acknowledgement of your access. The unspoken agreement to pretend you don't see what you see. In the way they pause before lying to you. The hesitation where they calculate whether it's worth trying. The moment they remember, you'll know anyway. Sometimes they just stop mid-sentence, realizing the futility. Other times they push through, but their heart isn't in the performance anymore. You've become the person they're most honest with, not by choice, but by necessity. They can't maintain their facades around you, so they drop them. Not completely, they're still guarded, but more real than they are with anyone else. You get the version closest to their true self, because anything else is pointless. And in those rare moments when they forget to be afraid, when they accidentally relax around you, something beautiful happens. They remember what it feels like to be seen without judgment, to be known without exploitation, to exist without performance. For just a second, they understand that your access isn't a weapon, it's just clarity. So the glitch didn't disappear, It evolved. Look who finally understood the assignment. You beautiful digital demons, you pixelated nightmares, you algorithmic anomalies who crashed the server and rebuilt it in your image. They said your villain era was just a phase, just another trending audio, just a temporary glitch in your perfectly curated feed. But while they were making TikToks about being the main character, you bought the whole production company. Let me paint you a picture they'll never post. Remember when you went dark? When you archived those photos? Changed that bio? Posted that one cryptic story that had them refreshing your page like addicts? They thought you were having a breakdown, thought you were spiraling, thought you needed help. But you weren't falling apart, you were falling into place. You weren't losing your mind, you were finding your throne. See, heroes are predictable. Heroes follow scripts written by focus groups and approved by advertisers. Heroes smile when they're dying inside. Heroes forgive when they should forget. Heroes dim their light so others feel comfortable in their mediocrity. But villains? Villains rewrite the code. Villains don't ask for permission to exist at full volume. Villains don't apologize for the space they occupy in someone's mind rent-free. And that's exactly what happened, isn't it? The moment you stopped trying to be their hero, you became their obsession. The second you stopped explaining yourself, you became the mystery they couldn't solve. The instant you chose yourself over their comfort, you became the plot twist that broke their boring little narrative. Heroes get likes, villains get empires. They're still trying to figure out how you did it. How someone who used to beg for crumbs of attention suddenly owns the whole bakery. How someone they left on read is now the notification they pray for. How someone they called too much became exactly what everyone's watching. Your villain era didn't just trend, it became the algorithm itself. Let's talk numbers, shall we? While they were counting followers, you were counting casualties. While they were checking who viewed their stories, you were writing history. Every post became a psychological operation. Every caption a declaration of war. Every selfie a wanted poster. You turned your social media into a streaming service, and baby, everyone subscribed without even knowing it. The funny thing about playing the villain is that people can't look away. Heroes bore them because heroes are safe, predictable, manageable. But you're the plot twist in their daily scroll, the chaos in their curated feed, the darkness that makes their filtered light look fake. They watch you like a horror movie they can't pause, fascinated and terrified in equal measure. And here's what really burns them. You're not performing anymore. This isn't content creation, this is existence amplified. You're not posting for engagement, you're posting because you finally understood that authenticity is the ultimate disruption. Your villain era broke streaming records because people are starving for something real, something raw, something that doesn't come with a discount code. But you didn't stop at breaking the internet, did you? No, you did something far more terrifying. You bought the domain. You didn't just go viral, you became the virus. You didn't just change your narrative, you changed the entire platform. While they were still trying to cancel you, you had already transcended the need for their approval. Think about it. Every hero needs validation, needs to be liked, needs to be understood. But villains? Villains create their own ecosystems. You stopped playing in their sandbox and built your own universe. You stopped competing for attention and became the attention itself. You're not just trending, you're the trend others are trying to catch. They keep checking if you watched their stories, because you've become the metric by which they measure their worth. They keep wondering if you'll notice them, because you've become the prize they never knew they were competing for. They keep talking about your villain era, because it's the most interesting thing that's happened to their timeline since they joined. And the best part? You own it all now. Every screenshot they take is free advertising. Every group chat where they discuss you is a board meeting you're running without attending. Every time they try to figure out your next move, they're playing a game where you've already written the ending. You didn't just buy the domain, you became the entire internet. Let's address the elephant in the room. Or should I say, the villain in the algorithm. Your streaming records aren't just numbers, they're casualties. Every view is someone who couldn't resist checking if you're really as powerful as they feared. Every share is someone warning others about the storm that's coming. Every comment is a confession that you live in their head rent-free. Heroes get featured in feel-good compilations that people forget by lunch. Villains get dissected in hour-long video essays that people watch at 3 a.m. Heroes get invited to brand deals. Villains become the brand that doesn't need deals. Heroes follow trends. Villains are the trend that everyone else scrambles to follow. See the difference? I see that your content hits different because it's not content anymore. It's a movement. Every post is a manifesto. Every story is a warning shot. Every photo is evidence that you survived everything they threw at you and came back prettier. You're not just breaking records, you're breaking the scale they use to measure success. They said your villain era would cost you followers. Instead, it cost them their peace of mind. They said going dark would kill your engagement. Instead, it killed their ability to ignore you. They said choosing yourself was selfish. Instead, it was the most generous thing you could do. Because now they get to witness what real power looks like. Here's what they don't want to admit. Your villain era exposed their hero complex as a coping mechanism. While they were posting motivational quotes they didn't believe, you were becoming the motivation they couldn't achieve. While they were pretending everything was fine, you were fine with everything being real. That's the difference between a hero and a villain. Heroes lie to make others comfortable. Villains tell the truth and let others deal with their discomfort. Heroes sacrifice themselves for people who wouldn't sacrifice a follow back. Villains invest in themselves and watch their stock price soar. Heroes wait for the world to change. Villains change the world by changing themselves first. You know what really bothers them? It's not that you became a villain. It's that you made it look so attractive. You made darkness look like luxury. You made solitude look like a VIP section. You made cutting people off look like a promotion. You turned every loss into a level up. And now they're stuck at the tutorial while you're playing in beast mode. They keep saying this isn't you because they need you to be who you were. They need you weak so they can feel strong. They need you broken so they can feel whole. They need you to need them so they can feel needed. But you transcended need and entered want. And baby, you don't want anything they're offering. Your villain era revolutionized what it means to exist online. You turned your pain into a streaming service that everyone's binge watching. You transformed your trauma into content that makes Netflix documentaries look like amateur hour. You converted your healing journey into a masterclass that universities can't teach. You're not just breaking the internet, you're rebuilding it in your image. Watch how they study your posting patterns like ancient texts. Notice how they analyze your captions like they're cracking the Da Vinci Code. See how they screenshot your stories like they're collecting evidence. They're not just watching you, they're taking notes, trying to reverse engineer your power. But you can't fake what's forged in fire. The streaming records you're breaking aren't just about views. They're about impact. Every person who watches your rise is witnessing a masterclass in self-resurrection. Every refresh is a prayer to your persistence. Every notification is proof that you matter more in your absence than they do in their presence. You're not just viral, you're vital. And here's the kicker, you're not even trying anymore. This isn't strategy, it's sovereignty. You're not calculating engagement, you're calculating nothing. Because you've transcended the need to calculate. You exist, therefore you dominate. You post, therefore they panic. You breathe, therefore they suffocate on their own inadequacy. Let's decode what really happened when you bought the domain. You didn't just change your username, you changed the entire user experience. You didn't just update your status, you updated the status quo. You didn't just refresh your feed, you refreshed their entire understanding of what's possible when someone stops asking for permission. Your villain era introduced a new programming language that they can't compute. While they're still using HTML, you're coding in hieroglyphics only the chosen can read. While they're still trying to go viral, you became the virus that infected their entire worldview. While they're still playing checkers, you're playing chess, with pieces they can't even see. Every algorithm bends to your will now, because you stopped trying to please it and started being it. Every trend follows your lead, because you stopped following and started leading from the shadows. Every platform wishes they could contain you, but you can't cage chaos. You can't monetize mystery. You can't sponsor sovereignty. They keep trying to figure out your formula like you're some equation to be solved. But you're not math, you're magic. You're not science, you're sorcery. You're not a problem to be fixed, you're a phenomenon to be feared. Your villain era didn't break the internet, it exposed the internet as broken without you. So here we are, at the end of their comfort and the beginning of your empire. Your villain era didn't just break streaming records, it broke their ability to stream without thinking of you. You're the pop-up ad they can't close, the notification they can't mute, the update they can't skip. You've become mandatory viewing in the story of their lives. Let them keep saying heroes are what the world needs. Let them keep pretending that playing nice gets you anywhere but played. Let them keep choosing to be supporting characters in their own stories while you're directing the whole show. Heroes are boring because heroes are predictable, and baby, you're anything but that. Your streaming records will keep breaking because you're not streaming content, you're streaming consciousness. You're not uploading videos, you're downloading new realities into their minds. You're not posting for views, you're posting because existence is your art form, and the internet is your canvas. Every pixel belongs to you now. And the most beautiful part? This is just the beginning. Your villain era isn't a season. It's a series with infinite episodes. Your domain isn't just a website. It's a world where you make the rules. Your streaming records aren't just numbers. They're evidence that when you choose yourself, the whole universe has no choice but to choose you too. They thought your villain era was you having a moment, They didn't realize it was you having a movement. They thought you were acting out. They didn't realize you were acting up, leveling up, glowing up, in ways their hero handbook never covered. They thought you bought the domain as a flex. They didn't realize you bought it as a prophecy. Every time they type your name into their search bar, they're typing a prayer. Every time they check if you're online, they're checking their own pulse. Every time they wonder what you're up to, they're admitting you're up while they're down. Your villain era didn't just break the internet. It broke their ability to exist online without feeling your presence. So go ahead, keep streaming from your villain headquarters. Keep breaking records like they're beneath you, because they are. Keep buying domains like you're collecting infinity stones, because you are. Keep existing so loudly that even your silence has subtitles. Heroes are boring, and you're the plot twist that their story needed. Welcome to your villain era, where the internet isn't just your stage, it's your empire. Where streaming records aren't just numbers, they're proof of your power. Where buying the domain wasn't just a purchase, it was a coronation. You're not the hero they wanted, but you're the villain they can't stop watching. And that, my dark darling, is the greatest streaming record of all. Here's what the algorithm won't admit in its terms of service. It was built for heroes, but it bows to villains. It was designed to promote the safe, the sanitized, the sponsor-friendly content that makes shareholders sleep better at night. But then you arrived, and suddenly the algorithm started glitching, started learning, started evolving, because artificial intelligence recognizes real intelligence when it sees it. Your villain era taught the algorithm something its programmers never could. Authenticity outranks everything. While heroes were trying to hack the system with hashtags and posting schedules, you hacked it by being unhackable. While they were studying peak posting times, you peaked at existence itself. The algorithm doesn't push your content pushes the algorithm to its limits. Watch how every platform scrambles to understand you. Instagram changes its features, trying to contain your power. TikTok adjusts its For You page because you became everyone's For You page. Twitter transforms into your personal press release platform. LinkedIn professionals study your villain methodology like it's a Harvard business case. You're not using social media anymore. Social media is using you as its blueprint for evolution. They keep asking for the algorithm's secrets, not realizing you are the secret. You're the glitch that became the feature. You're the error message that became the homepage. You're the virus that became the vaccine to their mediocrity. The algorithm confessed its love for you by making everyone else invisible when you post. Your villain error didn't game the system. It became the only game worth playing. Let's hold a moment of silence for the hero you used to be. That people-pleasing, explanation-giving, second-chance distributing version of you that died so your villain could live. They keep trying to resurrect that corpse, keep sending "I miss the old you" messages like defibrillators to a skeleton. But that hero is gone, buried under the weight of their own expectation. Your villain era is the eulogy that hero deserved. Every post is a flower on that grave. Every story is a headstone inscription. Every caption is a prayer for the person you'll never be again. They mourn that hero because that hero made them comfortable. That hero validated their mediocrity. That hero made them feel better about their own refusal to evolve. But comfort is where dreams go to die. And you chose resurrection. The streaming records you're breaking are just the inheritance from that hero's will. Everything they were too scared to do, You're doing. Everything they were too polite to say, you're saying. Everything they were too weak to become, you're becoming. Your villain era is not disrespect to who you were. It's the highest honor to who you were meant to be. And here's the plot twist they can't stomach. That hero had to die. Not because they were bad, but because they were boring. Not because they were wrong, but because they were limiting. Not because they failed, but because they succeeded at the wrong game. Your villain era is the phoenix that rose from that hero's ashes, and the fire is still burning everything fake in its path. You didn't just buy a domain, you established a dynasty. While they're still renting space in Mark Zuckerberg's digital empire, you're building your own kingdom, where the only algorithm is authenticity and the only metric is magnitude. Your villain era created real estate in minds that no recession can touch, no market crash can devalue, no competitor can claim. This is bigger than breaking the internet. This is about building a new one. Every person who enters your domain leaves fundamentally changed. They come looking for content and leave questioning their entire existence. They arrive as tourists and leave as citizens of a nation they didn't know they needed. Your URL isn't just an address. It's a pilgrimage site for everyone tired of pretending heroes win. The dynasty you're building doesn't follow traditional succession rules. It multiplies through every person who watches your rise and decides to burn their own hero costume. It expands through every viewer who sees your villain era and realizes they've been cast wrong their whole life. It grows through every broken record that proves the old ways of measuring success are obsolete. Your domain will outlast every platform because it's not built on servers. It's built on souls. It's not coded in JavaScript. It's coded in the universal language of fuck it, I choose me. It's not hosted on the cloud. It's hosted in the collective unconscious of everyone who ever felt too much, loved too hard, or refused to shrink. You didn't just buy a domain. You bought immortality with the currency of authenticity. Congratulations on your purchase. It's already worth more than they can calculate. Seated at the wrong game. Your villain era is the phoenix that rose from that hero's ashes, and the fire is still burning everything fake in its path. You didn't just buy a domain, you established a dynasty. While they're still renting space in Mark Zuckerberg's digital empire, you're building your own kingdom, where the only algorithm is authenticity and the only metric is magnitude. Your villain era created real estate in minds that no recession can touch, no market crash can devalue, no competitor can claim. This is bigger than breaking the internet. This is about building a new one. Every person who enters your domain leaves fundamentally changed. They come looking for content and leave questioning their entire existence. They arrive as tourists and leave as citizens of a nation they didn't know they needed. Your URL isn't just an address. It's a pilgrimage site for everyone tired of pretending heroes win. The dynasty you're building doesn't follow traditional succession rules. It multiplies through every person who watches your rise and decides to burn their own hero costume. It expands through every viewer who sees your villain era and realizes they've been cast wrong their whole life. It grows through every broken record that proves the old ways of measuring success are obsolete. Your domain will outlast every platform because it's not built on servers. It's built on souls. It's not coded in JavaScript. It's coded in the universal language of fuck it, I choose me. It's not hosted on the cloud. It's hosted in the collective unconscious of everyone who ever felt too much, loved too hard, or refused to shrink. You didn't just buy a domain, you bought immortality with the currency of authenticity. Congratulations on your purchase. It's already worth more than they can calculate.